Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Hi,
I've got the lovely B. Brooke here. Brooke, do you want to introduce yourself?
my name is Belle Brooke. Um, yeah, it's early, guys, so my brain is still trying to wake up a little bit here. I'm a little tired.
Hi, I'm Charlie Ray or Charlie Ray Writes here on YouTube. This is my channel, and today we're going to be doing some live writing sprints because I desperately need to get my book finished. I'm so close, you guys. I've got like 11,000 words left to go. I know I can do it. We're gonna get it done. Yeah. If you guys would like to drop what you are working on in the chat, or if you have any questions for myself or for Brooke, please let us know. I think we're gonna jump in and get started with a sprint. Um,
Yes, I'm gonna warm up a little bit and like journal a little bit.
okay,
So my brain is going.
so fair. I'm probably going to do the same, um, and maybe take my dog outside really quickly as well.
Oh,
'Cause I haven't done
so
that yet.
cute.
All right, let's go ahead and get the locus timer started. 25 minutes on the clock in three, two, one, right. Hello.
Charlie's coming back. There she is.
I accidentally removed myself. That's my bad. How did everyone do?
I actually started working on my draft.
Okay,
So that was good. That was good. Yeah.
very good. Any significant progress or
Just a few sentences.
just a few?
But yeah, dialogue is great. I feel like that has improved as the draft progressed. So that's great. Yeah.
That's
It's more
that's
natural.
that's amazing. That's awesome. Good job. Very good job. Um,
What about you?
well, that was a very productive sprint for me. I actually, for the first like 7 minutes of the sprint, I was taking my dog outside and um, feeding him and stuff. So,
Oh,
but then I also wrote 327 words. So I'm happy with that.
that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah. How did everybody in the chat do? Let us know and let us know what you're working on if you haven't already. I see we've got a couple of people in here. So I'm going to just go through these messages really quick. So we've got A Fox. Hi, how are you? Um, Working on adding some content to my manuscript ahead of a call next week, hoping to get a good chunk written today. Well, I hope you do too. Let us know how you did during that sprint in the chat. We've got Ian. Hi, Ian. How are you? What are you working on today? Love to hear from you as always. Hi, Annie. Annie is building the fun and games section of a new project. Okay. Do you have a project name for this yet? Curious to hear. And Zilla's here. Good morning. Um, working on. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just saw Ash's comment. That's
Oh, okay. I haven't gone there yet. I haven't gone there yet. So let me
so sorry.
working on Zilla's working on revisions for her horror novel. Awesome. I'm excited to hear more about that. Ash, I forgot I was in the stream and when I started hearing voices. Okay, now I see what you were laughing at.
Yeah, because she's so calm, and I could just see her like what's wrong? Who is that? Oh, oh
Okay,
my gosh.
it's early. I think it's early for mostly everyone. If it's not early for you, let us know what time it is where you're at. I'd
Mhm.
love to see the differences. Okay, Zilla just wrote down some goals for now. That's awesome. Good job. Very good job. Ian is just doing his regular job this morning. Nothing exciting. Tell me, Ian, what do you do? Um, I don't know if I know that. A got slightly distracted researching freshwater lakes, but added 251 words. Great. That's awesome. Project Seaside is Annie's project name. That is great. Um, and then we've got some comments about Ian's work. Can't they just pay you to exist for now? It's so good. Uh, oh wow, it's 11 p.m. for Ash.
Mm. As you start work at nighttime? Wow.
Yeah, I cannot imagine working overnights. I used to do that when I was waiting tables,
Yeah. Oh my
and
gosh.
I was just like the amount of times that I went home at the end of the day and just like, well, it was like literally 8 a.m. for me. I just crashed
Mm-hmm.
out.
I
I
yeah, I used to do like on-call weekends. Don't want to ever do that again.
yeah.
Don't want to. And it always happens on my like weekend. Something happens. It's an emergency.
Tell me, Brooke, what did you do? I know you're not working now, if I'm not mistaken.
hmm
What did you used to do?
So I used to be a therapist. So before actually like retiring my license, I did private practice. But before that, I actually worked at a juvenile detention facility that had a treatment facility inside, and I was the director for that. So That's a little bit of my life. I got the extreme population of kids that did adult crimes, felonies specifically.
Oh, wow.
So, that was me.
Okay.
So, I really loved it though. I loved it. And I'll sometimes get messages from them now. They're adults now. I never return it to where they tell me how they're doing, which thankfully some of them are doing well, some
That's
not
great.
so well. Yeah, so, but I'm glad they're okay.
Yeah. Well, I could definitely, it's interesting because I could definitely, after you said that, I was like, that makes sense because you have like a very calming presence
Oh,
about you.
thanks.
Yeah, of
I
course.
just play Uno with them, and you know, it gets insane when I play Uno with young adults. I guess they get
I
so
love,
angry.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love Uno. Have like an Uno stream or something. I think that would be fun.
Ooh.
Ian, I can't tell you that in public. Sorry, DM me. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Um, Hi, Tiara. Good morning. How are you? What are you working on this morning? Zilla says, night riders are absolutely magical to me. Yes,
I agree. I agree. My
1000.
brain can't function anymore at nighttime. Like I just can't push anymore.
It's interesting. I get that, but I've always been like an early morning writer, and
Hmm.
sometimes that means like midnight, and sometimes that means like 3 in the morning, and then other times that means like now.
Now.
Early, early, but not like early.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Well, if
that's
you well, if you really think about it, like it's kind of like nighttime outside, you
yeah,
know? Yeah.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
Uno is a deadly game. Yes, I agree. I used to have this like back in my like early 20s. I used to have this group that would get together on the weekends and just play Uno. And the way that me and my like best friend at the time, we could like we had this like weird like mental connection, and
Uh-huh.
I always knew when she had a good hand and she always knew when I had a good hand, and we would use that to our advantage to get the people around us like holding all of the cards. And it was just like I don't think we ever lost a match if we were both involved in the game. So
That's so cool.
it
I
was
Yeah,
fun.
I use it as part of therapy. So what I would do is each color would represent an open-ended question that we can create during the session. So the kid or the teenager, or sometimes like the adult, would be able to ask me any question, like just whatever you wanted, right? So a lot of times, like I would win, so I would get to ask them questions, and I would on my board in my office, I would have me versus clients, and I would like tally how many times I'd win. And there has only been one kid that has won against me, and I still remember his name because he bragged to everyone about it. So and I also used this game when I started dating my husband. I was like, let's play Uno, and I made it into a therapy session so I could find out more about him.
Oh my gosh. Tiara says, I love that so much. Yeah, Uno's great. Um, before we go into the next sprint, does anybody have any questions for myself or for Brooke? Or does anybody want to share last lines?
I have a question for you, Charlie.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
I so I know that you're working on your first draft for Project Daydream.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm not sure if I had asked this in your other streams, but what do you plan to do with Project Daydream? Do you plan on doing indie publishing or trad publishing? What are your thoughts on that?
So that's a great question. I really love this project. I do love it. I've been working on it for quite some time now, and I've had some time to think about this, but I'm still not 100% sure if I'm going to query it. And
Hmm.
the reason why is because I do want to be a traditionally published author. That's my goal, and I have a lot of reasons for that, mostly just because I don't think I can handle the business side of
Hmm. Hmm.
obviously I'm not very good at juggling a lot of things at once. And I
That's
don't know that
okay.
I'd be capable of doing that, doing the self-publishing route. But um, as far as like this project is concerned, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this yet because I don't really want to be like I'm writing a science fiction dystopian novel, and if it was
Mhm.
just strictly like mostly dystopian, then I would probably be yes, I'm definitely going to publish this. But because it has a lot of science fiction elements, I don't necessarily, especially with traditionally published, I'm not 100% sure if I want to be like known for this type of work. And so I'm
Mhm.
trying
Mhm.
to like I'm more of like a fantasy writer. And so I'm not 100% sure how I want to. I mean, I guess I could publish in different genres, maybe like under a
Yeah.
different or something like that, but I don't know
So
yet.
like, so a hybrid author is something that you might consider. Is that
Potentially,
right?
yeah. Like,
Potentially.
I mean, I might, like, I could potentially self-publish this one, and then
Hmm.
maybe publish my next project or something. Like, try to get it traditionally published. I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure what I want to do, honestly.
Yeah. There's some like indie authors that have, done the self-publishing way, and then once their story like just lifted off, like some like one of the big five would like try and buy it, or like ask for it and to republish it under their name. So that could happen too. So even if
Yeah.
you self-pub, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess it could. Honestly, like, my pipe dream is to have one of my books be made into a movie, like a good
Oh,
movie, like similar to like the Hunger Games or maybe not Harry Potter because that's like huge, but like, well, I mean, so is the Hunger
Hunger,
Games.
yeah. Top tier.
Um,
Hunger Games is good.
yeah, like that is like my dream. I really want to see my book being made into a movie. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't know if that would happen if I traditionally published or not. I guess it does
Mhm.
happen, but I don't
Yeah.
know. It happens more often when you traditionally publish over self-publishing, I think.
Yes.
Looks like we've got some questions in the chat. TR asks for both of you, what's your favorite thing about your current whip, characters, plot, etc.? You want to go first?
Sure. My favorite thing about my current whip is I love the dynamics between the protagonist and the squad that she's with. It's a military squad, like a special forces kind of squad. And I love that initially she's like an outsider. She does not know how the world works because she was isolated in a forest. She was like doing like very primitive stuff, and she comes to this place where it's a little bit more modern and there's this magic. And at first she was just not wanted, and she proves herself through her own strength. And I just love the friendship that she's forming. It's very organic, and it's very much like she becomes a part of their little family. And I really love that. And the plot, I like it too. I mean, sorry. I love the plot because it's about being a part, being significant even in a very vast universe, I guess, a very vast part of the cycle of the universe. So that's all I could say about that. But that's my favorite part. So what about you, Charlie?
So my favorite part is definitely like the world that my book is set in.
Hmm.
It's a dystopian world. Um, they're like in New York City, but everything is different. Like it's got a mixture of old and new architecture. Things are broken down. And then we've also got like the dream world versus. Sorry, there's like some sort of bug crawling on my. Trying not to look at it. There's a mixture of like dream world and like real world aspects, and it's just I don't know. It's kind of like dreamy and realistic, I guess, at the same time. And I really like that part.
Hey, some dreams truly are so realistic.
Yes, very
So,
true.
do you want to kill it? Whatever it is.
I do want to kill it, but first let's go to Zilla's question. I'm going to take myself off screen for this. Zilla asks,
Okay.
has anyone written planned interludes, advice on pacing or length, any structure tips?
Hmm.
You go first.
I don't plan. Well, she's killing the bug. I do not plan on writing any interludes. As for pacing or length, I for my second draft specifically, because I re-outlined my story, I go by scene, and each scene goes along with a certain beat for the book. So that's how I do pacing. And each scene has like its beginning, its climax, and its end. So everything goes together. And that's been really helpful, at least from people who have read a little bit about on my book. So I hope that kind of helps. As for structure tips, I find like the three act structure has been really good for me. I just like how fast it is, and I like that it's something I'm more familiar with. Although I think in school they used to teach like four acts, or was it five acts? I don't remember. But I also base everything with the scene and the beats. So I hope that kind of helps. Um, and since Charlie's still killing that bug, there she is.
Hi.
There she is.
Sorry. Yeah, what were you
That's
gonna say?
okay. I was gonna say, since you're still killing that bug, I was gonna look at the other comment, but you're back, so yay. What
Um,
about you?
yeah, I'm definitely not sorry, I'm just now I'm like paranoid.
Hmm.
I'm not planning to write any interludes either. Um, as far as like pacing is concerned, I think this is something that I'm personally working on. So I don't really have a lot of like technical advice, but one thing that I would say is try to leave as many chapters as you can on a cliffhanger to get people to want to read more. Um, adding suspense into the suspenseful scenes, like a lot of it, as much as you can, not over the top, but obviously you want to add a little bit in there. And then in those other transitional scenes, um, building character relationships, making them closer, I think is going to really be helpful.
Yeah.
And it depends too on the type of project that you're working on, because if you're writing I know you're working on horror, so you've probably got a lot of like film and or film fear and stakes added in, and
Yeah.
just trying to conceal those into um, as many chapters and things as you can, I think would be helpful. I don't
Yeah.
know um, if I can give
Yeah.
you like any technical advice on that though, because I'm just not
I
as
yeah, I wanted to add on to what Charlie was saying, because I love that you said to live it in a cliffhanger. For me, like I write scenes, and then whatever it amounts to is a chapter. Um, each scene for me has to move the plot forward. And
yes,
that is like important, because if you just have a scene there and it's doing nothing, the pacing of the story, you can really tell like what's the point of this? And I find myself asking that if I write a scene, and I'm like, what is the point of this? And if I don't answer that question, if there's no point, I just push it to the side.
yeah,
Now, I don't have to necessarily delete the scene. I just put it elsewhere, put it in another document, and then maybe like rework it later on or use it somewhere else. But that's one thing to make sure that your pacing is going forward, is to have a little bit of the plot moving forward in each scene. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Also, one other thing to add to this too is like play around with language and use that to your advantage. Like make it like more interesting to read, I guess, is the other thing too, because that's going to help with pace, at least from a reader's perspective. Um, sometimes you can read a passage and it's just like flat.
Mhm.
Making your paragraphs or sentences as like three-dimensional as possible, to help retain interest is going to be helpful with pacing too.
One
Um,
second. I'll be right back.
oh yeah, I'll go for it. I'll just go through the rest of these. We might start another sprint. Okay. Azilla says Kate Dillon did her sci-fi and then went to fantasy. She did fabulous. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, I know it can be done. I definitely know it can be done. I don't know what the process looks for that. Ash says, I feel the same, Charlie. Some books I have planned. I don't want to be known for necessarily. Yeah. Some books I have planned I don't want to be known for necessarily compared to my main genre, trying to figure that out. Yeah. That is definitely one of those things that is kind of more difficult, especially if you're someone who likes to write in multiple genres. Like, I sometimes like to write contemporary and thrillers and all sorts of different kind of things, and I don't know that I would be able to publish all of that. Let's see. Hannah. Hi, Hannah. Thank you for being here. Charlie, the new apartment looks so nice. I hope moving went well. Yes, the new apartment is beautiful. I love it so much. And moving went fantastic. I had a lot of help, so definitely went smoothly. Hi. Is it I don't know if I want to try to pronounce that. But hello, what are you working on today? I think it's time for another sprint. And I'm thinking another 25-minute sprint. Hopefully everybody is okay with that. How do we feel about 25 minutes? And while we're waiting for Brooke to come back, we'll get that started. Everybody good with 25, or are we feeling a little longer and we want 30 minutes? Ash says that 25 minutes sounds good. Ian's good. 25 sounds great. Fantastic. All right. Well, then we will get. Oh, Zilla says 25 is perfect. Trying to get these interludes planned. Fantastic. Well, then 25 minutes is on the clock in 3, 2, 1. Happy writing. I just love the applause.
Yeah, that it actually helps me like hear it because sometimes the bells I can't like hear as well.
How
How
did you
um how did I do? Let me see. I didn't even look. See. I did do I did 315 words.
good job. Very good
Yay!
job.
But much better than the first sprint.
Yeah, and it adds up too.
Mhm.
So, how did everybody in the chat do? Let us know. I wrote 411 words. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, what's going on this morning? Did you hear that?
yeah, what happened?
My whiteboard fell. I need to
Oh my.
hang it up. I haven't done any of that yet. I need to hang it up and put it on the wall so that doesn't happen anymore. Um, but I did 411 words, so I feel
That's
pretty
really
good.
good.
Yeah, I feel good about the progress that I've made so far this morning. Do you want to share last lines?
Sure, let me pull it up. So boring, but last line is Theo looked around as they approached the edges of the forest. So
Ooh.
exciting. But they're making their way to another place. So, like I said, a transitionary kind of scene where we're learning stuff about the world a little bit more. So, yeah.
Nice. Um,
Mhm.
now, tell me what. Sorry, I think you might have mentioned this before, but I might have been killing the bug. What part of your what part of your draft are you in right now?
I so I'm on a second draft. It's a complete rewrite because the first draft was trash. But I am nearing the midpoint. It's about to happen. So I'm trying to make sure that the momentum is going, but I also need to drop a few information about the world during this scene and also reinforcing the relationships as well because it's about to be split apart, I guess. So I'm trying to make sure like I'm highlighting those close relationships that she formed so that later I can break it apart. So that's what's happening.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hmm.
Um, I guess I should read my last line. Um, it came spilling out of me all at once, and when I was done, I sat back in my chair. The weight that once sat on my shoulders had lifted, and I could finally relax.
Ooh, I wonder what it is that lifted off of her shoulders. Did something happen prior?
Yeah, so I'm in the
Ah,
resolution part of
oh,
the book.
you are
So
so close.
yeah, I'm so close. She's just like so my main character is a police well, one of my main characters is a police officer, and
Hmm.
she um had this very personal crime happen to her sister, and she is well, her sister was murdered. I say that and like everything.
Hmm.
Her sister was murdered, and she's like trying to solve the murder. She's like found all this information, and she's handing it over to her boss now, and
Mm,
explaining what's happened, so she doesn't have to like think about it or worry about it or like dig into it anymore. Now
mhm.
at this point, so without giving away too many details, I guess. How did everybody in the chat do? Let's see. Ian made some fresh coffee. That is progress, Ian. That is definitely progress. I personally cannot live without at least one cup of coffee in the morning.
Only one cup for me for the day. So I need more and I'll get an anxiety attack or I can't sleep at all. So just one for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't. I'm the same. If I drink coffee after like 2 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon, I can't sleep that night. It's impossible.
Mhm.
Ash got 159 words. Think I'm almost done with my current chapter and I can finally move on. Very cool. I'm so happy for you. Excited. Um, okay. 236 words. Congratulations. And Hannah has a question. You both may have already said this, but how far along are both of you in your books now?
I'm towards the midpoint, so I'm getting right in the middle, and it's crazy because I'm already at chapter 20, so
Yeah.
and it's only the midpoint.
Yeah, that's chapters and like where what chapter it should be when you're at whatever plot point it is. That can be really hard, I think, to nail down for me. I think I was also at chapter 20, but now I'm on chapter 36 and I'm almost finished. So I don't know if maybe
Oh.
I did something wrong, I think.
No,
But
that seems about right though, because you said your midpoint was around 20, and in my head, 36 rounds up to 40, so
yeah, that's true.
at least that's how my brain works.
That's so true. Yeah, and to answer your question, Hannah, I'm almost done. I think I actually only have like maybe another chapter or two, and my word goal for this manuscript is 80,000 words, but I don't know if I actually have like that much left to write.
This is so
So,
exciting. Like you
yeah,
can literally finish today if you wanted to, or
I,
tomorrow.
I don't know if I can finish today, but maybe tomorrow. Like I'm really really close. Like if I have a good writing day today,
Yeah.
then I might be able to finish this draft by tomorrow.
Oh
And
my
I have another
gosh.
yeah, and there's another live stream happening tonight on Evelyn's channel
Hmm.
that I'm co-hosting, and it's me, Hannah, and Kara. I think I'm not 100% sure if there's anybody else in there. There's a it was a group of four of us, I think, and I think during that stream I'm gonna make some really good progress too. So
Oh my
fingers
gosh,
crossed.
that's you're so close. And even
I
if you
am,
don't reach the word count goal, you can always add later, you know? So,
yeah, yeah, exactly. But I'm wrapping things up now, obviously. So yeah, it's interesting. Um, I you know what? I might finish today. Now
how are
that
you feeling? How are you feeling? Because it's a lot. You've been
I,
working towards this for so long.
I have been, and this will be my first of many attempts at finishing a first draft. I've never done it before. And so the other day on my like almost 5 hour stream that I did on
That was
Tuesday,
crazy.
I know I was just like, let's just keep going, whatever. Um, I literally thought during the last sprint that I might be like finishing the book that night. And the like feeling that I had when that happened, I was just like, oh my gosh, am I actually finished? Like I almost started crying because I was just like,
Aw.
I can't believe that I finally did it. Like, you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, like it's more for me like writing a book is a huge endeavor. But if
Hmm.
you're someone like myself who is like has a hard time like sticking to things and like finishing stuff and not like giving up, I am 100% a quitter, you guys. Like I'm terrible. I quit like almost everything.
Hey,
And so
that's okay. It takes
yeah,
courage to even
so
admit
like
that.
this will be like one of the first times that I've actually seen something through to the end, even before like revisions or something. Like that's a huge accomplishment for me. And so I am like a life accomplishment, not even
Mhm.
just for writing and stuff. So it's going to be an interesting feeling, I think, once I finally write the end.
Mm. Oh, I
Yeah.
hope you celebrate. But I also wanted to remind you, Charlie, that you don't give up on your dog. Okay, so you're not actually a quitter. You always take care of him. You push forward with him. He's a husky. He's strong-minded or strong-willed, if you want to call it that. So you're not
So
a quitter, just on certain things, and that's okay. It's a good thing to know when you like your strengths and weakness. So it's okay to quit sometimes. Like we don't
yeah.
want to push through like and at a price of something else, at a cost of for something else. So and
Yeah, I know. it's just that like when you start so many hobbies and then you just like drop them for no reason. Can I ever stick to something, you know? And so now that I finally found something that I just like want to keep going with, even
Oh,
if sometimes I'm not as consistent as I would like to be. And so like being able to get to this point is just like huge for me. So
yeah. Well, like when you said that in my head, I'm like, it's kind of like it's okay, like because it's kind of like dating, you know. Sometimes it's just not the right hobby, and you gotta just drop them and move forward and find the right one. So
so
some things
fair.
are just not right, meant for you, and this one is. And I was so proud of you. You're gonna finish tonight. I bet, and that's because I'm going to watch you guys. So I'm hoping to see you finish tonight.
Oh my gosh. I'm nervous, but I think we do have other questions in the chat, so we could just move
Sorry,
on.
my bad, guys.
Um, Ash asks, "How do you break down your chapters?" Do you want to go first?
Sure. So for me, the only important parts for me, breaking down chapters is the first three chapters, the inciting incident has to happen for me, specifically because of the audience I'm targeting it to. So mine is fantasy with romance, and with the way things are with the books now, if you look at it, things happen pretty fast. So I wish it wasn't like that, but that's the market. So um, that's the only thing that has to happen. Is the first three chapters for me, the inciting incident has to happen, and Act Two has to happen pretty quickly, at least for me. But everything else after that, it's just scene by scene, you know. So if like I think Charlie said earlier, it has to end with a cliffhanger. I tried my best to leave it where the reader is wanting more. But that's the only rule I have for myself is the first three chapters. That inciting incident has to happen so that the attention is captured. I hope
Yeah,
that makes sense.
no, 1,000%. And I agree with you. I'm a pantser, so I really just wing it most of the time. But I do like to have the inciting incident happen as quickly as possible, just to get the story moving along. I think
Hmm.
in my project that I'm working on now, the inciting incident happens in chapter 4. Um, but that's only because I have two perspectives that I'm dealing with, and
Hmm.
the flipping back and forth. There's like technically two inciting incidents that happen. So, one for my male main character, one for my female main character.
Hmm.
So, and I mean, they're connected into one overarching, but they deal with it in different ways. So it's like two different experiences. And as far as like all of the chapters after that, I really just wing it. It's just whatever I try to write up into a natural stopping point for
Yeah.
that chapter. And like I said, leave off on a cliffhanger, or just like an interesting note so that people are wanting to move forward to the next chapter.
Hmm.
So, um, thank you, Hannah. Yes, it is exciting. I'm almost there. Um, Ash says, I mean, how do you figure out when one chapter ends and the next one should begin? Um, yeah, so um, and like figuring this out for me is kind of like to explain it to you is kind of difficult just because it's something that I just kind of naturally do. I don't really think about it too much.
Hmm.
But I think when I try when if I'm looking back and like thinking about it, all of my chapters they start off with a character sort of like in a lull moment where
Hmm.
they're sort of ramping up to something else. And then at the end, that's when that something else happens so that the person like flips forward to the next. If it's something that spans over multiple chapters, I try to leave it off in a spot where my characters like something's happening to my characters or and like start it picking up where that last chapter left off, if that makes sense. I don't know exactly how to explain it in a way that makes makes sense. It's kind of hard. How do you
Yeah.
how would you
I kind of understand what you're saying. It's like an instinct kind of thing. You just feel where the story, you're feeling the story where it naturally ends, where it naturally starts. Because I'm a plantser, so I have like a scene by scene outline, but I thought I was going to follow it strictly, but it's actually very loosely. But I tend to do it my chapters scene by scene, like I said. And there's this natural like ups and downs of a scene, and if two scenes go together, that's like a chapter, and if there's something else coming along, that'll be the next chapter. It really depends on the rhythm. I know that sounds really weird, like the rhythm of the story and how it goes. I don't like very long chapters because personally, if I'm reading a too long of a chapter, I just kind of like go somewhere else. Unless it's like super action packed. So I try to make my chapters also like 25, like 2,000 to 3,000 words anyway. So but I do make sure that each scene something is happening to move the plot forward. And if it naturally falls at a cliffhanger, then great, you know. So I hope it kind of makes sense. But I also kind of do what Charlie does, which I just feel around where it should naturally go. But I try to group it together with scenes that relate to each other. I hope that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense. And I was gonna say something else about this, but I don't now off the top of my head I can't remember, but if I think of it then I'll pop it in the chat or something as we move along. Yes, Hannah, we do have a stream leader. I'm excited for that. Paul popped in to say hi. It's 5 a.m. and I'm about to go to bed, but wanted to drop in and say hello. Well, hello and welcome,
Hey,
and have a
Paul.
good sleep.
5 a.m. sleep. I wonder, Paul, if you are like Filipino because, oh, and if you are in the West Coast, because you definitely have one of my relatives' last names.
Oh,
So
yes, I am.
he is. Okay, cool. So I'm wondering if you're from Cali too. So, because if you are, then who knows? We may be related.
Okay, and Hannah had a question. What do you think you've done different this time that's helped you finish this book as opposed to other projects?
Oh.
So I think really the only thing that's different between now and then is the fact that I have a YouTube channel now.
Hmm.
And that like encouragement that I get from all of you guys and everybody else on AuthorTube has been really helpful. I keep hearing people say like everybody wants to like at some point in their project like give up on it or something, or it's really hard, and now I know I'm not like by myself, like, oh my gosh, like why is it so hard for me, and all of these other people seem to be like having an easy time of it, and I just like knowing that I'm not by myself in this,
Yeah.
even though I am sort of writing it by myself, um has been really helpful. And
Yeah.
also just like the pressure to put a new video out and like actually write my book has been that I get from posting on YouTube has been um, keeping me going. I think because I honestly think that if I hadn't have started this YouTube channel, I definitely would not have finished this project. I think
Yeah.
there were so many times where I was just like, I want to give up on this, but then I was thinking, but everybody's looking forward to seeing me finish, so I need
Yeah.
to keep working on it.
There's an accountability with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we have Ari. Hi, Ari. How are you? Thank you
Hi.
for stopping in. Ash says, starting my channel has also helped me be more consistent as well. Yeah, 100%.
I have a question for you. Well,
Sure.
two questions.
Okay.
First, how do you balance? Because I mean, I love AuthorTube. I mean, I watch everyone's videos. But one of the things I've noticed as an AuthorTuber is that sometimes when we film, when we're writing, it becomes almost like a show, right? And it almost takes away from that intimacy of writing. How do you balance that along with that passion of writing, like that thing for yourself, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
Um,
it totally makes sense. I know exactly what you're talking about, and
okay.
and actually, funnily enough, I do touch on this topic in the video that is going to be on my channel like within the next week or so.
Cool.
But to answer your question now, that is something that I'm still working on.
Hmm.
I'm still like, I've noticed a lot recently that when I write, I'm almost always filming, and
Hmm.
I am trying, or I'm in a live stream, and I need to um, make it more of a priority to build my like my personal relationship with writing alone.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'm working on that. So like I'm trying to maybe like every other writing session, or maybe have a writing session just like once or twice a week or something, where I'm not filming or not in a live stream, and where it's just me and my project,
Yeah.
and not like everything else. Because I do think that when you're writing under pressure, under the pressure of a camera, under the pressure of a live stream, it can sort of weaken that relationship that you have to your writing, and to your
Yeah.
projects. Maybe not all at once, and maybe you won't even notice it at first, but over time, it does kind of degrade that, um, at that, passion and
Yeah.
everything you have for your writing. So it becomes more like a job to do
Yeah,
it.
like a show, like a
Yeah,
show. It
yeah,
almost feels like a show. Yeah.
exactly. And I think that it's important to write when you're not being watched,
Hmm. Hmm.
just to have that connection where it's just like you're, so in your heart that you're not doing it just for the cameras, you know.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I've been like, I've noticed that, and I was like, man, it's no longer about like for myself, and that's why I started. It's really for myself. It's a very personal thing, and I've limited myself, like recording when I'm writing. I just do it 2 or 3 times a week, like recording a few snippets of me writing, but the rest is like private now because I want to make sure that I keep that passion, that feeling that I have
Mhm.
alive while I'm writing so it translates to whatever it is that I'm writing.
Yeah.
So it's good. Yeah, yeah. I guess everyone experiences it at some point.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so 100%. And um even if you do record like a part of your session just to kind of
Hmm.
like get the typing vibes or whatever you're going
Hmm.
for in your vlogs, um turning it off after like 30 seconds or something like that, like just getting a short clip and just turning it off and like letting the rest of the writing session just be you and your project, I think is really also helpful,
Hmm.
like not have the camera on you all of the time.
Yeah, yeah. So I have another question for you.
Okay.
Okay, so because I think you're gonna finish either tonight or early tomorrow morning. How are you going to celebrate this huge achievement for yourself? Like, what are you gonna do for yourself?
Oh gosh, that's a really great question. I don't really know. I might get like a bottle of wine and just like
Oh,
watch a movie or something, like just low stakes. Nothing like super nothing super exciting, I think.
just
But
cuddle up with your pup, watch a
yeah.
movie, have some wine. No, that's actually sounds really good. That's amazing.
I'm not sure. Maybe I'll go out and do some karaoke or something if I want.
Oh, have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters?
No.
So out of like this, I was listening to it while I was writing, and I just you said karaoke, and I'm like, their songs like just slap so hard. Anyway, sorry. It lives rent free in my head, guys. I'm so sorry.
Um, yeah, Hannah says the accountability of YouTube is so great. I
Mhm.
100% agree. And yes, the personal relationship with writing is really important. We shouldn't let the cameras and everything tell us when we're going to write and how to feel about our projects. Ash says, I have personally stopped filming myself writing
Mm.
and write do a little after write update instead. That may be more boring though. I mean,
No, it's not, Ash. Your voice is amazing. Like, it's so relaxing, and I love your videos. I always watch it. So,
Leah popped in. Hi, Leah. How are you? Um, apparently, I need to watch K-pop Demon Hunters. I guess I'll add it to my list. I'm currently watching Mr. Robot. Um,
oh,
and so I think I need to like do one show at a time. So I'll finish Mr. Robot. There's like 4 seasons on YouTube. I love his name is like Remy Malik or something.
that guy
I,
with, to me, he's the guy with the eyes in my head because his
yeah,
eyes are like
the
so
guy,
brilliant, you know?
yeah, the
So,
guy with the eyes. Yeah,
mhm.
it's a really interesting show about hacking and like I don't know, it's interesting to me. Um, anyways, we do have time for another sprint if we want to
Yeah,
do another
yeah.
one.
Yes,
I
if
think
you
we
guys
probably
see me bopping my heads because I'm listening to K-pop Demon Hunters to wake me up. So it's a movie, Charlie. So if you have time,
okay. Oh, it's a movie.
yeah, it's like an hour something, an hour 15, an hour and a half. It shouldn't
Oh,
be that long, but it's
okay.
very it's I'm gonna listen to the music while we do the sprint. So
Not me thinking it was like a TV series. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely put that on my watch list for sure. Yeah, Mr. Robot is where it's at. I'm only on the second episode and I already am obsessed. Um,
Cool.
all right. So let's do 25 minutes. Sound good?
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
And 3, 2, 1, focus. Okay, how did everybody do?
Let's see. I wrote 290 words.
290 words?
Yeah. What about you? Did you finish?
I
I
didn't.
was like here waiting for you.
I'm almost there. Like, I really think I might actually finish tonight. Um, I wrote 628 words.
Girl, you're flying through it. You're going to finish tonight.
I don't
You're
know,
going to.
maybe. We'll see. We had a few people join us. Hi Kingston. Hi Ricky. Um, yay. Hannah says yay. Yeah, I might actually finish tonight. Wow, it's insane. I might be like a little under my word goal, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's definitely okay. Always
Um,
add.
yeah, because I can add things, and obviously, like this is a first draft, so I'm gonna have to rewrite a lot of this. I'm probably gonna add and
Mhm.
remove, and it's fine. Tiara locked in and got
Wow.
553 words. Congratulations. That's so great. That's a lot of words. Congrats, Brooke. Be saying hi to Ricky. Yes, amazing. I think that was the last sprint, but if anybody has any questions or anything for us, please let us know. Hannah says the word goal doesn't matter. The book is done. The content is there. Trust me, you'll get the words in with editing. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, I think for a sci-fi book, 80,000 words is standard, and I'm like pretty close to that. So even if I'm underwriting a little bit, I don't think it would be too hard to add in additional in the editing process. There might be some things that I'm missing in here. And obviously, if you guys missed any of my most recent videos, I discovered a problem about halfway through where I was not writing. I don't have secondary characters that play like any sort of real role through the majority of the book. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna have to go back in and add new characters, and I'm sure that that's gonna add to the word count.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, let's see. Completely random and so far out. But do you guys have any book cover ideas, like style or something you'd like to include?
Um, for me, it has to have these flowers that are okay, can I talk? Integral, integral in the story. And I think Hannah, you kind of know already a little bit about it. The blue blossoms in the story, even though they're common, I need it on the book's cover because they play an important role in my story. So it would be nice to have it on the cover. So yeah.
That sounds really cool. I love that.
Hmm. Yeah. What
Uh,
about for you?
for me, okay, so I am thinking about doing something with like um something that represents both the dream world and reality. So I was thinking like the top portion of the cover could be something with the dream world, and then the bottom would be something with reality. But I was
Oh.
also thinking something like maybe I could just have um like the sun, like half of the sun and half of the moon, and then have them like be like my
Like
main,
reflected, mirror
yeah, so,
each other? Oh, I
yeah.
like that.
And
Yeah.
then but I also kind of wanted like the silhouettes of my characters somewhere in the cover. So I was thinking if I do that like sun moon reflection thing, that I would have them sort of like almost like walking along the surface of the sun and the moon, like in the
Mhm.
different, I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, like a reflection, like a switch of both worlds, right? Because
Yeah,
it's the same, but it's not the same. And I think that's what you wanted to convey in the cover, that they're both in both worlds in a
yeah,
way.
yeah. Because like the to kind of like spin off this question, does the half sun and moon exist? No, they don't exist. It would be like a representation of, like, obviously most people sleep at night. Most people are
Hmm.
awake day, and the representation of the two worlds that my book takes place in, because
Hmm.
half the book they're in reality, they're awake, and the other half they're asleep. So it's um kind of playing off of that idea, I guess. But I'm not 100% sure how I would represent it. I do have actually a mock cover already made up, but it's not very good. And I'm also thinking, because technology plays a pretty big role in my story, I'm not sure if it's going to in later drafts, but right now it does. And I was thinking sort of maybe adding sort of like a glitch effect or something to it
Ooh.
as well.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll look amazing at the end. Are you planning on doing what other people do where they print like a book out? Are you gonna print your draft once you finish?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do like just like one copy for myself just for revisions and to annotate and
Yeah.
everything. And then I'm well, what I'm gonna do is do like the cover, and then I think I might get like a binder as well,
Ah,
like
yeah.
have it bound so that I can make notes, and do more like like bigger edits on paper, because I think I'm gonna do most of the revisions by hand, like um
Wow.
well, it will be just like a lot of note taking and everything by hand, I mean. So
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
um Ash asks, are you making your own covers if you do indie?
Um, I could, but I also would like to hire somebody who does it so it looks more professional. I have a friend who does a lot of art, and I'm trying to get her, once I finish the book, of course, and if she wants to draw the cover for me. She's a really, really good artist. So, um, but yeah, I think I would do it for myself, like as a copy. Maybe like after the third draft, I'll print it out for myself, but and make a cover for myself. But for the final thing, probably not. I'll probably hire someone else to do it. What about you, Charlie?
Yeah, that's so fair. Yeah, similar to you, I'm probably gonna make my own like mock covers
Hmm.
for now. And if I do end up indie publishing this, then I will hire
Hmm.
somebody to do it, because I mean, I can draw and stuff, but I'm not good with digital art, and I think that that would be something that it would be more than likely something digital for
Yeah.
this cover. So,
Yeah.
any other questions in the
Yes,
chat, or
I have a question for you.
sure.
Okay. What time is your stream with Evelyn later? Sorry, the cat's like eating a tag. She's okay. What time is your stream with Evelyn tonight?
It's 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yes, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Oh, okay. I wrote it down.
Awesome. Well, since there are no more questions in the chat, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Would you like to plug your stuff?
Sure. So I am B Brooke Writes on YouTube and Instagram. I do have a Substack, but honestly, guys, it's just where I kind of do like morning pages almost from time to time. So feel free to look over there to see how I write. But yeah, B Brooke Writes everywhere.
And I'm Charlie. This is my channel. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. I do like writing vlogs and all the things on there. I'm also on Instagram at charlie.ray.writes. You can get my handle on my YouTube homepage if you want to follow me.
Thank you for having me, Charlie. It's been so much fun. I cannot wait to watch it tonight to witness it happen because I'm really positive it's going to happen tonight.
We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Yeah, I'm excited for that stream as well. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, and for popping in. I know it was an early one, but we made it work. We made it happen. Not early for everybody though, I guess. We got someone in here who is in a totally different time zone. But thank you all. You have a great rest of your day. Be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.